Okay, we're going to move on to the lesson. This one is actually going to teach us how we can use these corresponding parts to solve problems, set things up, and go forth from there. Notice this is dilation. This is a dilation, 100%. This shape, smaller, it went and got bigger. Notice what they used, the K value. It's the scale factor that helps us go find it. Well, what we're going to use is our information of similarity and proportions, which means fraction equals a fraction, to help us set up and solve these problems. This is a similarity statement. Notice A goes with D, B goes with E, C goes with F, and then AB goes with DE, BC goes with EF, AC goes with DF. You have to kind of follow those letters along. And that's how we start learning to set up the stuff. I want to point out, it will never matter what you pick first. It'll only matter what you pick next. And I'll help you do that. I really like to just follow what they give you. The letters, and they tell you what so with this one, they gave us these first, and we went to this. It's a great way to set up your problems, okay?
And the squiggly line, that means similar.
And I do need to point out, the definition of similar is two things. Number one, all the angles of the first shape have to match all the angles of the second shape. Notice 3 tick marks, 3 tick marks. 2 tick marks, 2 tick marks, 1 tick mark, 1 tick mark. If those were not so, the shapes are never similar. Once you know that the angles work, then you can go on to the extended proportions. The extended proportions all have to work. Okay? All right, we're going to work that out in a problem like this. We've got triangle RST is similar to triangle XYZ. So they're telling us they're already similar. Find the scale factor for triangle RST to triangle XYZ. So this one has to be on top. This one has to be on bottom. And it won't matter what any of these numbers I pick. But I do have to pick from this triangle first. Then I have to pick from this triangle second. It never matters what I pick first. It only matters what I pick next. So on here, I'm going to pick something from this triangle. So RST, I'm going to pick 20. And we'll just do it right here. Well, I'll just go A down here and we'll go like this. 20 over, because they asked for a scale factor. Remember the word, there's 3 ways to write a fraction, but we're going to write it as a regular fraction. And then 20, so RS goes with XY, 12. So these two go together. Now let's reduce it, because scale factors are always reduced. So that reduces to, I think 4 comes out of both, so it should be 5 over 3.
Yes, that's what I got.
And 5 over 3 would be our scale factor. Now, when we're done, when we write out these ratios and fractions, you're going to see that all of them will turn into 5/3. Okay, number 2, list all pairs of congruent angles. Well, up here, they're going to tell us the angle, so we're going to list them accordingly right here. So I'll do this in green. This is B. All right, angle R. So angle R will be congruent to angle
X.
X. Excellent. Angle S will be congruent to angle,
Y.
and angle T will be congruent to angle
Z.
Z. And we could even put the markings on there. So R, X, T, that was our last one, and Z, and I'll do 3 marks with that. Now the only reason I'm able to put the marks on there is because they originally told me they were similar anyway. If they don't have markings on there, you can't put the markings on there unless they tell you it's similar, or you went and found the angles based on something like this picture. Okay? All right, so we're back to here. We're going to finish our last thing. Write the extended ratios. Okay, so we'll write the extended ratio statement in black. So I'm going to do, this is C. All right, I'm just going to do it from the letters. I don't even need to look at this picture, although I could based on the markings, but I like to just do it off the letters. So I'm going to go RS over XY is equal to ST over, now notice, I went from RS, but I went back because all the RS's and RT, RST's all gotta be on top. All the XYZ's have to be on bottom. So then YZ is equal to RT over XZ. Now let's find out what those fractions are just real quick. So RS is 20. We already know that that's 20 over 12. Equal to ST is 30 over YZ, which is 18, is equal to 25 over 15. Now, with my calculator, real quick, I'm going to make sure that all of those turn into 5/3. So we already know this one does. So let's find out what 30 divided by 18 is. 5/3. It's exactly 5/3. So 5/3, 5/3, and I'll bet 25 divided by 15 is 5/3.
Yes.
And that's how you can tell that they are similar, because the angles all match up and the sides are proportional.